This is Pro Series Off Topic.
Welcome back to Pro Series Off Topic, episode 106. We finally got this camera working. My gosh, last week was so frustrating. Actually, the past 3 or 4 months of having this camera has been so frustrating. And I finally thought, hey, ChatGPT works on everything else. Why can't I just ask it to help me fix this camera? There was nothing wrong with the camera. There was something wrong with me. I just didn't know how to use it. Finally figured it out through ChatGPT. So thank you for saving the day. Once again, ChatGPT. But if you missed Pro Series this week, I would pause this podcast right where we are right now and go check it out because this is a two-parter. My guest on Pro Series this week is the same as Off Topic, and it's Steve Gregory. He's a returning guest. He was back on the podcast 2023, August of 2023. So if you want to go back and listen to that, he's a real estate agent and real estate investor here in the Pittsburgh area. We talk all about country music on this episode. Last episode, or Pro Series episode, we talk about the state of real estate market right now and the changes since then, because last time we talked, it was like the end of COVID. So there's a lot different. A lot of stuff has changed. So go check that out before you head into this off topic. But we talk about music, country music, venues, best entertainers, best vocalists, literally everything. And we just get very off topics. The main reason why I wanted to shoot this podcast. So before we go into that, make sure you head over and listen to 186 of Pro Series with Steve Gregory. And then we'll get into country music, new country music in the media base chart after the episode. So I hope you enjoy episode 106 of Off Topic with guest Steve Gregory. Get out here.
Yeah, the Strip was not a great place. All the bars way back in the day, 80s, all the bars were on the barges along the river.
Yeah.
So, it is a different beast.
It's beautiful now.
Million-dollar houses down there.
Oh, yeah. Those townhouses are insane.
Yeah. Mason Rudolph lived on one of the end units.
Did he?
And he sold his place for 1.3, I think. You can't get anything down there for less than $1 million.
Yeah.
So.
You had to buy it when they were making them.
Well, shit. A 750 square foot studio apartment costs you $1,800, $1,900 a month.
It's like the ones across the street from me. I don't know if you saw them coming in. Those are over $1 million bucks.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. They're building them on Mount Washington now.
Yeah.
The same exact ones.
Yeah, and did see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
Supply and demand.
Yeah.
That's all it's about.
Okay, well, in the music, I think we originally kind of went back and forth. I think that's actually how we actually met on Instagram.
I think you're right. I do. I think you're right, because we...
It was some concert.
Had to have been Kip Moore. He's my go-to guy. I think
that's what. Yeah, it was.
I think it was Kip Moore. Yeah, my sister, before she moved away, my sister and I, we would go see Kip Moore any chance we got. We would go see him in Pittsburgh. We'd go see him in Cleveland. We would go see him in driving distance. We would go and see him because he was just so damn good in concert.
I haven't seen him.
He used to be really good in concert.
Oh.
He's not headlining anymore, and I think that has a little bit to do with it.
Why?
He's taken taking things back just a little bit. It took him, his most recent album, I think took him over, I think it was almost 2 years since he came out with new music. Kip is a very cool guy. He's a good follow on Instagram too. When he's not on tour, he literally goes off the grid. He goes and he's down at Costa Rica or something like that and stays down there for months at a time. He loves to surf and just get off. Just be done with the world and turn everything off, kind of a thing. So I definitely think he's pulled back a little bit. This past year, I went to Youngstown, Ohio, and he was with, I can see him, Billy Currington. Billy Currington was a headliner.
Billy Currington's like that too, though. Yeah.
Billy Currington was a headliner, and Kip was the co-headliner, I guess you can say. And we went, my girlfriend and I went, and that was her first time seeing him, and I was so excited.
Yeah.
And it was just so underwhelming.
Really?
It was the same kind of venue, because he's not in big venues. He doesn't do the whole big venue thing. And it was just so underwhelming, and he still makes great music. His new album is absolute fire.
I haven't listened to the whole thing.
Absolutely love it. But yeah, I was disappointed in his last concert that I went to. So I would hesitate to say you got to go see him.
Yeah.
Because I don't know exactly how he is maybe now with his new album coming out. But
was it stage presence or did he not sound good?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know. It just the only way I can describe it is he didn't have his normal. It almost looked like he knew he wasn't the headliner, so he didn't have to show out, kind of a thing.
Oh,
that was the only way I can describe it.
See, when I think of that, I wonder if some bad blood between management or something, like he thought he could have done it.
Could be, yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I still enjoyed the concert. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I mean, I knew every word, every song that he played, but yeah, it was just one of those just one of those situations where it was like, it wasn't, and I felt bad because I obviously talked it up to to my girlfriend. I was like, oh, he's the best, like he's amazing, like you're gonna love him, da da da. And then we get there, and then she was like, oh, that was such a great concert, and I was like, it wasn't okay. It wasn't his best.
You hadn't seen before. Who is the best you've ever seen?
I mean, Pete, Kip. I would definitely say Kip.
I mean, I think that you could think of that in a different way. You could think of like who's the best entertainer you've seen and best vocalist, I guess, you've ever seen.
Yeah. Country wise, we'll start with country. I saw Luke Combs when he came to Heinz Field last year.
I was there too, yeah.
Oh my God.
That was insane.
That was the first time I saw him. I've always loved his music. I just never saw him in concert. And I went and I was just floored. Like it was such a good concert. Oh, yeah. So good.
He's a different type of concert though, because he doesn't move a lot.
No.
So, but that's not a problem.
Yeah, no.
But I wouldn't say he's entertaining, but like his vocals were like insane.
Yeah.
That comes out of that.
And I guess there's something to be said with like I give more. I don't know. I guess I give more credit to the people that do the big concerts like Heinz Field. Right? Oh yeah. Because he was obviously at Heinz. Mm-hmm. When Kip would come, Kip would play at like Stage AE.
Yeah.
So more intimate setting, and maybe that's why I feel like his peak days, in my opinion, was like he was like so much better because Stage AE. I mean, you throw your beer and you're going to hit him, whereas you're sitting up on the nosebleeds for Luke Combs. But Kip on stage, and I guess this kind of goes into why I didn't think his concert was great, was because like the dude would just fly up and side to side, and like you thought he was going to jump into the stands. Like he was just such an entertainer. Like it was the music, yes, but at the same time it was just like it was entertaining. And I just didn't think he had it. Maybe it was just in Youngstown, Ohio, he just didn't have his best. But maybe he was hungover from the night before. I don't know.
Yeah, but you never know what he did. What happened before?
Sure, what's going on with it? Like you said, with the whole management thing, maybe he was beefing with Billy Currington. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, Kip is still definitely one of the best concerts I've ever been to. But that said, not country. You have to go see. They're called the Struts.
Oh, I've heard of them. Yeah.
You want to go see a concert? You got to go see the Struts. The Struts are the most entertaining thing that you can go into. And you don't even need to know the music. So like my girlfriend and I went to Cleveland and saw them at the House of Blues, which is an amazing venue too.
I've heard about House of Blues.
If you ever have somebody that you like that goes to House of Blues in Cleveland, you got to go because the venue is just incredible. Very similar to Stage AE, but a little bit better.
Hopefully. I hate Stage AE.
Yeah. But I took her there, and that was the first time that she saw the Struts.
Oh, okay.
And she left there, and she goes, that might be the best concert I've ever seen.
Really?
And I was like, I told you, they're so good. The music is great, and it's almost like you're going there, like you can't not look at the singer, like, because he absolutely clearly idolized Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Dresses the part.
Oh, okay.
He is so flamboyant. He's got like this long black hair, and like he like flips his hair like back and forth, and you just see like the sweat going everywhere, and it's just like, and again, smaller venue, so probably has something to do with it, but you just are just entranced, and you can't not watch him and be entertained. Like it is such a good concert.
I need to see them then. I haven't ventured out of country music.
I've fair.
Seen 2 concerts. I think I actually pay for them. I saw the Backstreet Boys when I was working in the corporate world. They gave me tickets to the box.
All right.
They were good.
Yeah.
My thing with like pop concerts is you can't hear the artist. because there's so many screaming girls.
It's fair.
And then this is the next one I'm going to say. It was even worse. My friend had an extra ticket. Someone bailed out on her, so I'm like, she wanted me to go.
Yeah.
It was the Jonas Brothers.
I'm sure they were fun to watch, like entertaining.
They sounded good when you could hear them.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was awesome going to the bathroom.
Sure.
Because there was no line at the guy's bathroom.
It's like going to a Taylor Swift concert.
Did you go to that?
No. But I'm sure it's similar to going to Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, probably.
Not a lot of guys there. I'm sure there's a lot of girls
Probably
there.
not.
No.
It's probably husbands or boyfriends are being dragged along.
dads. Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
But speaking of that, did you see the new law that was passed about... so, you know how the Ticketmaster thing with her when she first came out? It was something that President Trump signed about concerts, and you can't like Ticketmasters, those type of like, I don't even know, holding tickets and pricing them outright. Yeah. There's a new law now in effect for it.
Well, that's the power of Taylor Swift.
Thank God.
If someone was going to do it, it's going to be her.
One thing she did right.
The lady who increases GDP when she goes to cities. It's amazing. I was talking to my mom about this. My mom was huge. I think that's where I get my love for music, is my mom for sure. And I was talking to her about it because my sister's a big Taylor Swift fan, of course. But I was talking to my mom, and I said to her, I was like, can you draw a parallel between the absolute phenomena that Taylor Swift is and like the Beatles? And she goes, yeah. She goes, it's that. Like, it is that. And it's beyond impressive. I think some of the stuff with the Beatles was obviously they were foreign and then they came to the United States kind of a thing. But just to see the evolution of Taylor Swift is just mind-blowing to me. And I'm not a fan. But like, you know, I could probably not spend the $1,000 on Taylor Swift tickets. Yeah. Somebody told me it was cheaper if you bought tickets in like Stockholm, Sweden, flew there instead of getting tickets here.
Oh,
it was cheaper to do
That's
that.
Messed up.
It was cheaper to do that than to buy tickets here, right? But yeah, I mean, there was all these studies and everything that showed that every city she went to, she increased her GDP. Yeah. Like millions and millions of dollars. Like not just like a little bump, like a big time jump. Like
and she was there for like 2 or 3 nights, most stops, at least in the States.
Selling out Heinz Field back-to-back nights.
Yeah, insane.
Good luck trying to follow that up, right?
Yeah.
Like,
closest person was Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah.
And weren't they in the same week and then he postponed it?
I don't know about that because I know Morgan Wallen he was at PNC.
Yes.
And he was back-to-back nights at PNC.
But I thought
he was very close to Taylor Swift though, because one of the people that I went to Morgan Wallen with also went to Taylor Swift.
Maybe
and I was real close to her because I think he was midweek, wasn't he?
And then Taylor like Wednesday and Thursday, or something
and then
like
Taylor
that.
Swift I think was like a Friday, Saturday, or something like that. Yeah.
I swear, like his first round, did he have like vocal something, and then he postponed it to August?
Well, that was whenever
one of the tours.
That was when people. Well, I think that was whenever he was going through some. Yeah. I think that was when he was going through some stuff, and that was what he kind of fell back to was, you know, because I think I was right around whenever he threw the chair off the roof in Nashville and that whole thing.
It's hard to keep up with it.
Yeah.
It's very hard to keep up with it.
I stay out of that shit. I don't pay attention to most of that stuff. I like just new albums coming out. All right, I'm going to tune in when the new album comes out and talk about it amongst my friends.
Yeah, he's insane too. He's breaking. I mean, Garth had the biggest records ever in country music, and he's beat pretty much every single one of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if when we're all said and done that Luke Combs even tops him. I think the following of Luke Combs is significant. He sells out Heinz Field and Beaver Stadium and things like that, and he has the following.
I do too.
And I think one of the indicators is always whenever they start to collaborate cross genre.
Yeah.
And you're seeing a lot of that with Luke Combs, and he's doing some big ones too.
Well,
like
Fast Car was like humongous for his career, and he was already big before that.
Yeah, he was already massive, but that was a huge one for him. He's crossed with Ed Sheeran. I know he's done a couple with Ed Sheeran, and that's a big name. You know?
Did you see that? I just literally right before you came, he was on Call Her Daddy.
Oh.
And I guess it came out today. And I saw an article online that said he the end game, he wants to move to Nashville and be country artist. I didn't read into it, like
Really?
why.
Yeah.
But it's insane. All these people are coming to country music now.
Hey, in the end, it's better for the consumer like you and me, because I'm all about music.
If it's good.
Yeah. Music is, I've always said music's definitely what you make it, but music is, I think, a revealer of how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And it's like music is always there, whether it's on your phone or, in the car or, whatever. I think it always amplifies how you're feeling. So if you're in a good mood, you're probably going to be listening to some good stuff and, stuff that picks you up. And if you hate the world, you're probably going to listen to some stuff that does that too.
Apple and Spotify have those playlists.
That's it. They do.
Match those times.
They do.
But I feel like it's a good transporter back to a time that you want to remember or you don't remember,
100%.
a loved one. Or
100%. Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago. I went through a divorce and whatever, and I said whenever I got through all that, I was like, music was my saving grace, because music, when I would hear a song, it would take me back to a specific place and a specific time with specific people, and that was definitely my saving grace. And and I said, I was like, I feel like I fell in love with music again, and I truly believe that you got like this, very unfortunate thing that happens to you in life. And then, you hear a song and you remember back when you were 12 and like you did something with friends or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's just like brings out the feelings that you want to have, kind of a thing. Start to feel better about stuff and life in general and everything. But yeah, I've always said that one of my first things I do every day in the morning is put something on. Like I'm the chooser. I'm the creator of how this day is going to start.
Yeah.
And what's the first song that I'm going to play today? And it's sometimes it takes me a while. Sometimes I roll over in bed. I'm like, I know exactly the first song I'm playing today.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those. I love music, and I love music for all the good and the bad. That sometimes it makes me feel.
Oh yeah, I don't think I go a day without listening to it.
Yeah, no, you have to. Love podcasts.
Oh, I do too.
And I listen to plenty of them.
Yeah.
But music is like a requirement every single day for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Cooking or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. What is one artist that you haven't seen that you want to see?
I've become a real big fan of Brett Eldridge lately.
Oh, he's amazing.
Love Brett.
Live. So good live.
I saw Riley Green last year. I love Riley Green.
Yeah, he's good. I've always wanted to see Brett in Nashville during Christmas time, like when he does that residency.
Yeah.
He's the best at Christmas music. Him and Michael Bublé are like the only.
I was going to say, Michael Bublé. I have him above, but
depends.
Michael Bublé Christmas that's why he's on ABC or CBS doing the Christmas special every year. Yeah, he's amazing. I would love to see. I saw Michael Bublé last year when he came to Pittsburgh, and I was blown away. I actually went with my mom. I was blown away. I would love to see John Legend in concert. I've never seen John Legend. I would love to see him in concert. I'm trying to think, like country, because there's not a lot in country that I haven't seen, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think. Brett's definitely one that I've definitely become a big fan of lately. What's his name?
Live.
Dylan Scott. Dylan Scott would be another one. And he probably would do like a stage AE instead of like a PPG or something like that.
Yeah, I think he is coming.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, or he was just here.
Yeah, that's one of the things that is on my to-do list in the next couple of weeks is iron out my schedule for country concerts this year. Again, it's not just in Pittsburgh. I'm telling you, go to Cleveland.
I've never traveled.
Concerts, man. I'm telling you, they got some really cool
Cleveland's
venues.
Good for something?
Yeah, Cleveland's good for something. Cleveland's good for something. They got good breweries there too. I saw. No, that would have been 2 years ago. 3 years ago, I saw Kip there. He was he performed at like an old church.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a gorgeous venue. That's cool. That was really good. Saw the Struts at House of Blues. Who did I see there recently too? They all start blending together, to be honest with you.
Have you ever like left a concert because it was so bad?
No, I've left a concert.
Really?
I've left a concert because who I was at the concert with got a little too banged up.
Yeah.
Did that
It's
before.
the best of us. It's the best of us.
But no, I
Really?
didn't. Yeah, I don't think so. Last summer, I went and saw Santana.
Oh, okay.
Saw Santana. My mom actually got me tickets for Christmas. They were supposed to come with Earth, Wind, and Fire. They were supposed to come together.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. So she was buying the tickets for Earth, Wind, and Fire. I was getting the tickets for Santana. And Santana, like, I think it was like a month before they were supposed to come to Pittsburgh, he ended up having like a medical issue on stage and like had to get like taken off. So they canceled the tour, and then they both rescheduled separately.
Yeah, okay.
And then so they were out at Star Lake, whatever the hell you want to call it out there.
Whatever the pavilion is now.
Yeah. But Santana, that was, I would say, it wasn't because it was so bad, but they played all the songs that my mom and I wanted to see, and I was like, yeah, traffic getting out here sucks. Let's go.
Yeah.
So we left a little bit early for that one. But
when you were speaking about Arizona earlier and you said Red Rock, have you ever been to Red Rock?
No,
concert?
It's a to-do list.
I want to.
It's a bucket list thing. Yeah, it's a bucket list thing. I feel like you've got to, obviously I'd like to go and just see it. But I would love to go see a concert there. But I would feel like I'd be somewhat particular about who I would want to go see there.
Yes, 100%. You get to see a certain person
yeah.
there. That's I went to last year when I was in Vegas. I went to the Sphere.
Oh, but how was that?
Insane. You could get sick in it though.
Yeah.
Like if you're, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like
you don't know what you're looking at. Like
yeah, it's insane because it's going up all the way around you. I didn't get to see like the Eagles or that'd be awesome to see Eagles or Kenny there.
Yeah,
Kenny's going there this summer.
Yeah.
I saw like Planet Earth.
I bet that was still pretty badass though.
It was political, so it was kind of I thought it was going to be like a Planet Earth, like Disney Planet Earth, which it was in the beginning, and then it just slaps you at the end.
Who's the British guy? He has the best voice for Planet Earth. The guy that does all Planet Earth, the British guy or whatever it is. Yeah, great voice.
Is that the only thing he does? Because that's the only thing I know him from.
It beats me.
Well, he does a good job.
We'll have to Google. Oh, he does a great job.
Yeah,
that's part of the reason why Planet Earth is so great.
Yeah,
he starts talking in his British voice and so eloquently putting what this octopus is doing and how it's baiting in its prey and all that stuff.
You're interested for some reason? Like what? Are you doing George Strait next month?
No, I've never been a Strait guy.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been a George Strait guy. I'm not a huge like old school country guy.
Gotcha.
A little too twangy for me. I mean, obviously he has some good ones, just like Garth Brooks does. Like there's a couple of his songs. I would say his old school country I get is probably like a Tim McGraw.
Okay, so like early 2000s, late 90s type of deal.
Yeah, because like I grew up not listening to country music. I'm an inner city kid. I grew up listening to the furthest thing from country music. And then the older I got, my tastes changed. Friends changed a little bit and everything. So then that's whenever like peak Kenny days. Going down to Kenny Chesney, tailgating all day for Heinz Field, like
best day ever.
Yeah, well, for us it was. For many others who had to clean up the hurricane that afterwards was not great. But
yeah. People are stupid.
People are very stupid.
I think the last time I went to Kenny, people brought a pickup truck full of sand and dumped it in the parking lot to make it look like a beach. I'm like, are you that dumb?
Yeah.
And they give you a freaking garbage bag when you...
They started doing it after the real bad hurricane. Yeah, it was real bad. Well, it was the Hurricane Kenny is what they called it, Hurricane Kenny. And then I think it was the year after that, they started giving, when you would pull your car in.
Yeah.
They would give a trash bag to each vehicle, and then they had stations.
Yeah.
That they had their trash bags.
And people still don't do it.
No. That's because those are situations. And I get you get banged up and, you might not know where you're at kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But one, you shouldn't necessarily get to that point.
Yeah. You should have at least, if you drove there should be at least one responsible person there.
Should be. Should be.
Common sense.
There's plenty of cars that get left
after
the concert. Yeah, because of that. I mean, yeah. It's just, I always loved the Kenny thing, and then I got to a point where I always felt like I was uneasy at the tailgates because something was going to pop off, like there was going to be a fight or like, and it just like, it got to the point where I wasn't enjoying myself anymore, and still loved him in concert. Like he's still fantastic, but at the same time I was just like, this isn't as fun as I remember it being, kind of a thing. So
yeah, and I feel like when you see an artist, I've seen him 6 times, I think.
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty damn close to that. I bet.
Yeah, and it's like a copy and paste kind of thing. Yeah. And I love him. I love his music and stuff, but he's just an artist that is the same. He's
the kind of artist where you get mad that he starts playing his new stuff.
Yes, definitely.
Because you love his old stuff so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I get that's inevitable change. That's inevitable evolution to, all right, we got to start playing the new album, promoting the new album. But like, you gotta still play the regulars.
Yeah, I mean, you could make a different stage. I like artists that like can make a whole new theme for concerts, but it doesn't seem like the stage is the same.
Yeah, he likes to do the whole Pirates theme type stuff whenever he comes. Yep. Oh yeah.
Flag there.
Yeah, yeah, No Shoes Nation, right?
Yep.
Those are the peak days, though. Peak Kenny days for sure. Oh. But yeah, no, music is just like I don't know. It's a thing that gives so many people from different walks of life get them in the same place, kind of a thing. Talking about that Santana concert that I went with my mom, I had no expectation. I knew obviously the music that was getting played. No expectation. And I get to the concert and I'm looking around and I'm just like, I've never seen a wider variety of different people in one place before. I mean, there were bikers still in their leather there. There was young people. There were old people. It didn't matter. Like every walk of life was at this concert. And I'm just like, this is what music is about. Music is about bringing everybody together. Again, you had these... my mom's in her 60s. Like you had, her in her 60s. There were people that were even older than her that were there, and then there were teenagers there, and it was just like this, just wide, massive, just eclectic of people. And it's just like, yep, this is what music is about. It's about bringing everybody together.
Those are the best.
Yeah,
because I've been to Garth, and it's like all older crowd.
Yeah,
and I've been to like newer people like Morgan Wallen or Sam Hunt or something. It's all our age people.
Yep.
I'm a huge Carrie fan.
Yeah.
And I've seen her like 3 times.
Haven't seen her in concert.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, haven't seen her in concert.
It's insane. Because she sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But she's like flying through the air, and she's like, the concert she was flying through the air. But the audience is from like a little girl to an old grandpa.
Sure.
Like it's just a drastic change. And like what you're saying, I love seeing that because it shows that their audience is like a massive... I'd rather have that if I was an artist than just one group.
Sure. Well, and I think it speaks to their music too, because it's clearly transcendent, right? Yeah. So it is, whether you started listening to her whenever she won American Idol. Yeah. Way back when she was nobody, right? And but then she's still making good quality music now that's bringing in the young crowd, So it's like... I think to some extent, I think you could make the argument with Taylor too. I mean, clearly hers is very much so young girls or just girls in general. But, having the different generations of fans, like that's a testament to the artist and making music and music that transcends generations. Like that's a feather in the cap for sure.
Oh yeah. I think it goes to the songwriters too. I'm starting to get more songwriters on the podcast now.
Yeah.
I had one guy, he has 2 songs in the top 10 on country radio now.
No shit. I would love to know the process in that. Like,
oh, okay.
The mindset behind it. Like, it's like you look at this lamp and the lamp falls over. Does that give you an idea for a song, or like does something happen? Like where do you get the seeds to the lyrics? You know what I mean? Like where do you get the seeds and and then how do you hash that out and how you draw that out? You know what I mean?
There should be a podcast on that.
I know I would watch.
Yeah.
I know I would watch because like there was a song, it was one of the newer Kip songs. And I'm just like, I've literally never heard that before. in any song. Maybe it's in a song, obviously. There's a million songs out there, but I've never heard that in a song. And it is the most simplistic, like, explanation of an event that somebody, I feel like a lot of people go through.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why was that not ever thought of?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's just like, but how did that seed for that song, like that lyric, like where did that come from? Like, you know, so he actually hearing that come from like an actual songwriter would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. He talked a little bit about that. His first number one was with Luke Combs. He sang, or he wrote When It Rains, It Pours.
Oh, great song.
Yeah. Like before Luke was even a thing. Yeah. And he wrote, he talked about that. They like met at a bar, and then he talks about like their first day together, and they just wrote the song.
Wow.
Then he wrote the latest Kane Brown song.
Okay.
And one of Drew Baldridge's songs. Yeah. They're both in the top 12 right now, I think, or 10.
Kudos to him.
Yeah. And his father-in-law owns the golf place like right down the street.
No way.
And he's not even from Pittsburgh. His wife was from Pittsburgh. I'm like, he had a Steel City mug when he was doing the podcast. I'm like, what is that? Are you know someone from Pittsburgh?
You're not from here.
Yeah, you don't go here.
That's cool.
Well, before she knocks us out, let's end this up. Where people could follow you and reach out to you.
Yeah, all social media, typical stuff. I actually have 2 social medias. One's my business account. One's a personal account. Steve sells real estate, or Steve sells Pittsburgh. Steve sells Pittsburgh is business handle. Obviously full-time real estate agent, also do flipping, property management, the whole gamut and everything. So, it's if you want to find me, all you gotta do is just go. I think there is actually Steve Gregory that used to play in the NFL. That's not me. I did not play for the Patriots and the Dolphins. That's the wrong Steve Gregory, but I'm sure if you put in Steve Gregory Pittsburgh, I'm sure it'll come up. Yeah, I'm sure it'll come up. So something like that.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming back on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. We'll do it again anytime.
Okay, let's get into country music this week. A lot has come out this week, and Media Base chart has changed a lot, so let's get into it. First up, and I was going to put this as my number one song of the week, but realized it's not country music. You know what? I am going to put this as the number one song of the week. It is Ernest and Snoop Dogg with Getting Gone. They debuted it on Pat McAfee's show this past week in Pittsburgh. If you missed it, it was an incredible show. He did such an amazing job with that show, and so many Pittsburgh celebrities were there, and he brought out so many cool people like Parker McCollum and Jelly Roll, and it was filled with country music, and I loved it so much. But Ernest and Snoop Dogg sang their new song, Getting Gone. It's from a new country mixtape type of thing with Ernest and many other artists, and it's called Cadillac Sessions is the name of the album, or whatever you want to call it. It is a 16 song record. It's just strange because it's 4 or 5 different artists with different duets on it. But honestly, it's such a good song. Go check it out. Anything Snoop Dogg touches is gold. So I love when he comes into the country music world. Very welcomed. Next up, Jelly Roll came out with a new single called Dreams Don't Die. I really like it. He's kind of getting out of that. Not that, I mean, he's always saying with talking about his journey, which this one is too, but I felt like it was getting a little bit obnoxious of talking about the drugs and all that stuff and getting out of that. And I know it's great. He's done an amazing job of really turning his life around, but I love this change up of his music. This Dreams Don't Die it's a great song. It's a great follow up of what he has been putting out there in the past, and he does no wrong as well. Next up, Ingrid Andress. She posted a little bit ago. I mean, if you remember last summer, and we talked about this a couple weeks on the podcast, where she had that national anthem at the All-Star game, I believe, and it was just horrific. And came out that she was, intoxicated, went to rehab. This is her first song off of that, coming off of that journey of her life, and it's called Catch 22. Not my favorite, but it's great that she's back in the limelight and back in creating music again. Next up is not a country song, but has a country artist on it. It's a Christian song by Ben Fuller and features Carrie Underwood. It is If It Was Up to Me. It's a great song. Go check that one out. Next up, I've never heard of this guy, so I kind of wanted to just see what it was all about. His name is Fancy Hagood. Hopefully I said that right. Came out with a new song, Where Rainbows Never Die, with Mindy Smith and Mia Sharp. It's a good song. Go check that out. Brett Young came out with a new song, plus also announced his new album coming out later in the spring called 2.0, and the song's called Drink With You. I really like it. I feel like Brett Young does a really good job of like those really slow songs, but this one's kind of like a in-betweener, and I love how he changed that up. It could be a really good summer song. Hardy is coming out with a new EP, and it is called Country Explanation Point. I wonder if this has anything to do with people like trolling him about kind of doing the whole rock thing for a while, but it's amazing. He's such a good songwriter. He writes so many songs that other artists, use in their music. So it's really cool to see some of his songs. The first one up, Buck on the Wall, is a really good song, and Favorite Country Song is a really good song. So go check those out. Those are all the new music that came out this week. Now we're finally getting into like the summery stuff coming out, and I love it. Let's get into the media base chart this week. Number 5 was number 1 last week. Dylan Scott, This Town's Been Too Good to Me. Number 4, Cole Swindell, Forever to Me. Number 3, John Morgan and Jason Aldean with Friends Like That. Number 2, Morgan Wallen, I'm the Problem. And number 1, Low Cash, Hometown Home. That's all we have this week. Hope you enjoyed Pro Series this past week and Off Topic with Steve Gregory. Stay tuned. There's going to be another Pro Series, like always, midweek and Off Topic next week. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep sending recommendations on topics to talk about an Off Topic. I love your recommendations, and I have a whole list of them in my notes, and I keep them. So if you message me and I haven't done it yet, just know it will happen at some point. I just like keeping in the list and kind of try to feel it on what that week brought and what that week has in the news and what I feel like would do well with the listener. So thank you, and keep doing that. I really appreciate it. But other than that, have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll talk next week.